see. Thank you.
Hallelujah.
Glad. Thank you, God. Amazing grace. There was amazing grace. Amazing grace. You know what? That woke me up this morning. You know, started me on my way. Hey, it was amazing grace, y'all. God told me how sweet the sound. Amazing grace. Oh, it was amazing. Amazing grace. Amazing, y'all. Ain't God so good to us, y'all? He wakes you up early this morning, sister. Then he started you on your way, y'all. Amazing grace. It was amazing grace. It was amazing, amazing. Oh, what amazing grace. Thank you.
Hallelujah.
Glad. Thank you, God. What was lost? What was lost? Now I found was blind, but no. I see. Thank you.
Hallelujah.
Glad. Thank you, God. Amazing grace. There was amazing grace. You know what? That woke me up this morning. You know, started me on my way. Hey, it was amazing grace, y'all. God told me how sweet the sound. Oh, it was amazing. Amazing grace. Amazing, y'all. Ain't God so good to us, y'all? He wakes you up early this morning, sister. Then he started you on your way, y'all. Amazing grace. It was amazing grace. It was amazing, amazing. Oh, what amazing. wait a minute here. Living up the Jesus down in my heart. Living up the Jesus down in my heart. I'm glad I've got Jesus to live in my heart. Glad I've got Jesus in my heart. Yeah, 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 yeah. Now wait a minute here. Living up the Jesus down in my heart. Living up the Jesus down in my heart. I'm glad I've got Jesus to live in my heart. Glad I've got Jesus in my heart. Yeah, 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 yeah. Years in prison. When this young man got to prison, a maximum security prison, when he got there, they asked him, not where you from, not what's your name, not how much time you got, but what sex you claim. And at this time, this young man was Rolling 60, excuse me, Crip gang. And he said, I'm a Crip. And they pointed up there and they said, hey, that your people up there. So throughout the whole entire bid, well, not the whole entire bid, the majority of the bid, this man just was full of anger. When he got up there to his Crip buddies, they passed him a cigarette, they gave him a cell phone, and gave him a joint. And that's weed. He began to smoke, he began to realize, like, okay, this is just like the streets. This is where I just came from. And his mind got programmed and conformed to the things around him that he forgot what was out there. Keep in mind, this young man didn't have a family that wanted him. So when he came to prison, he didn't have anyone. And he began to struggle and struggle. He began to take people's stuff. He began to stab people and be violent. He took it out on everybody. And one day, this young man got stabbed in the neck, in the back, and in the side. Picture that. They had to flight this young man up out of the prison because he was losing too much blood. And it was just so terrible what happened to this young man. But finally, somebody bigger and badder than him, he finally met his match. Took him to the hospital. Lungs was collapsed. They had to pierce him in his side. They had to pierce him in his side to get the blood clots off his lungs. And they sent him back to prison. They put him in lockup. Now here's the thing. That is when this young man found God. God began to speak to this young man, and like I'm speaking to you now. And this was the words that God said to this young man. How long? How long are you going to continue to go on and do what you want to do? What more do I have to do to you? Have you understood now that I have been protecting you this whole time? You are a treasure. I put you away to keep you safe. They didn't love you like I love you, so I took you away from them. And God said to this young man, I have just one request. Praise me with all you have, just for one season. Just for one. Give me all you have. Just like you smoke weed and talk on cell phones and hurt people and curse out people. Just like you give your all to that, give me your all like that. Just for one season. And you don't have to do it anymore if you don't want to. So this young man got out of lockup, and the first thing he said was, praise the Lord, praise the Lord. Brother, you want to go to the chapel? Chapel call, chapel call. Brother, you want to go to the chapel? Chapel call. Brother, you want to go to the chapel? Chapel call. And everybody thought this young man was losing his mind. They said, man, I guess they did it for him. Oh boy, I stabbed him in the back and the side and in the neck, scared him to death that he had to run to God. This young man made this young man so mad because he knew that anybody said anything like that would feel his wrath. But God put something inside of him that allowed him not even to move, but to continue on, to remind him, praise me for one season. So this young man began to praise him for one season. Gave him all he had. This young man, throughout the season, throughout the time, the young man didn't know how to read nor write, could barely spell his name. The man decided to go to trade school in the morning time and GED at night. It was amazing how this young man began to just excel and advance higher than anybody in the class. This young man graduated, got his GED and his trade. They issued to him at the same time. This young man stopped smoking cigarettes and stopped smoking weed. He began to have a glow. It was once upon a time that nobody trusted this man. Now this young man became the warden runner. He became a hospice worker. He became a store runner. These jobs had to be given to trusted inmates. Everything began to look for just blessings on top of blessings. He got into this rap group called SNC, Soldiers in Christ. He began to rap for God. Everybody in the prison was trying to get him to move dope because he was friends with the warden and he could do it. But he didn't. He kept himself. He listened to God. They gave him a parole cut and granted this man a parole cut. And when this young man looked up, he realized that so many seasons had already passed. So many seasons had already passed. And he knew then that what God was trying to convey to him, that if you just praise me with all you have, I will bless you so much that you wouldn't want to go back to that foolishness. You won't even look back and have a desire to even just go there a little bit, because I'm going to bless you so much. More than you ever had. This young man is me. I got out of prison August the 7th of last year. My sister said, I know I haven't been there for you, and I'm so sorry. But God spoke to me and told me to help you all I can. And I want you to come up here to Georgia. I've never been to Georgia before. Never been out of the state of Alabama. Never been to the beach before until I got out. Never been nowhere. But my sister, she said, you don't have to pay no bills. I just want you to work. August the 7th, I got out and began to get a job. November, I bought my first car. I never had a driver's license like I had a driver's license. I didn't know how to drive forklifts, but I drive that thing like it's a power wheel now. Praise God. December, I moved out and Got in my own place. August, September, October, November, December. 4 months. Now tell me God ain't good. Tell me God ain't good. I was blessed to be at a church home, Salt Life Experience Church, where we keep it real, relevant, and relatable. A place where leaders gather. They begin to motivate me and encourage me. It's a very small church. Probably maybe about 50 of us, but we are family. There are the family that I always wanted. Their kids love me. You would think that I'm all of their fathers, because when I come through the door, they hug me, Brother Ralph. And it feels so good because I don't have any kids, and I always wanted some. But I have them now, and they're there at Salt Life, and I minister to them. I love on them. And I leave you with this, that when you trust God and you give God your all, you will lack nothing. The enemy, yes, he's a big old lion. He walk around here vicious, looking at you crazy like he ready to attack, but he have no teeth. He's just here to scare you, that's all. Scare you into making another bad decision after another bad decision after another bad decision. For so long you made so many bad decisions that you feel like you're unworthy to turn around and go back to God. But I here to stand and I tell you that the devil is a lie. Amen. I want everybody to get skilled. Went to the streets because the streets is what he knew. They accepted him because he had heart and he was willing to show that he went back down from no one. And as this little boy growed up to a teenager, and the teenager became a younger man, homeless man, still in social service, but for some reason he was living on the streets by himself. But social service thought that he was with his mother and they was doing good. Then how about one day, this young man robbed his store with a BB gun. Got caught. They locked this young man up. He was 18 years old. The young man didn't have nothing in his life. He never been anywhere. All he knew was the streets. And people just abandoned him because they said he was too bad and didn't know anything. So this young man stayed in the county jail for a minute, and then they released him. Eventually this young man, he couldn't afford a good lawyer, so he had to take a court-appointed lawyer. And they waited till this young man was 20 years old. First time.
I turned up.
But now, I'm the baby.
We turned up.
Woo! Feels so good.
Turned up.
Yeah.
When I be standing in the crowd,
They saying I'm too loud. Praising God is not allowed. They want me to turn up. I turn up. I turn up. I turn up. I turn up. When trouble's knocking at my door, pretending to be my friend, trying to give me the sin, I refuse to let them in. I turn up. Say it with me.
I turned up.
I turn up. I turn up. It don't matter where I'm at, I be praising them everywhere. I be jumping and I be shouting, my hands be in the air. They think I'm crazy. Crazy is not the word. I'm a Christian, it's how I'm living in God. I'm gon' serve. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? And I will not be moved no matter how big the obstacle, cause I serve a Savior that's merciful and unstoppable. Jesus' name, and Jesus Christ I'ma claim. It don't matter the location, I will not be ashamed. Whether at church, in the hood, or at the store, on the phone, I'ma give God praise, I'ma let it be known. Turned on for what? Oh no, too busy turning it up. No remote, no broke, same burning up. Turned up, I'm turned up. I'm turned up, I'm turned up.
When I be standing in the crowd, they saying I'm too loud. Praising God, it's not allowed. They want me to turn down, I turn up. I turn up. Say it with me. I turn up. I turn up. When trouble's knocking at my door, pretending to be my friend, trying to give me a sin, I refuse to let them in. I turn up. I turn up. I turn up. Check this out. I turn up. When the spirit of addiction is trying to come against me, I know when Jesus is with me, I suddenly fear is hidden. Say you can miss me, I know you trying to give it, but you can't give it, 'cause God already got me. My focus is on Jesus. My focus is on Jesus. You can hear me loud and clearly, my head is to the ceiling. I clap it till I was feeling. I'ma dance, I'ma sing, I'ma lift my voice. I'ma shout, I'ma praise till I go hoarse. I don't care how I look, I don't care what they think. They're just a man perception of me and God straight. He's a friend of mine, I'm a friend of his. This God the Father, we do it these. Turn on for what? Turn on for what? If you only knew, you'll be turned up. Standing in the crowd, they saying I'm too loud. Praising God is not allowed. They want me to turn down, I turn up. Say it with me. I turn up. I turn up. When trouble's knocking at my door, pretending to be my friend, trying to get me to sin, I refuse to let them in. I turn up. I turn up. I turn up. I turn up. Woo!
Make me smile. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Blue, 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 blue skies. Blue skies. They make me smile. They make me smile. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Thank you. Can I get some more water, please? Thank you. Choices we make, never regret. That was all we had to do. Long time how you living, my friend. What's been up in your life? Choices we make, never regret. That was but not together. We chose to go our separate ways. The road was long and hard, all kinds of weather. There were sunny days, times the clouds lasted forever. See you again after all this time reminds me we were blessed. We shared the best lessons of our lives. We learned how to love, we learned how to live, but the most important lesson of all, we learned how to give. Choices we make, never regret. That was all we knew how to do. Long time, how you living, how you living. Choices we made, never should regret it. No, we learned how to live, how to give. You have a son now, and I got a baby girl. We both been raising homes and families, making it work, it don't come easy. Though we strive for everlasting peace and love, how can there be love if the struggle isn't hard enough? Now see you again after all this time reminds me we were blessed. We shared the best lessons of our lives. We learned how to love, and we learned how to live. The most important lesson of all, we learned how to give. Choices we make, never regret. That was all we knew how to do. We learned how to live, how to love. Choices we made, we never should regret it. We learned how to live, how to love, yeah.